Today we'll see this subprogram. Subprogram means say like this is my macro is having some 4 5 lines of coding is going to calculate the sum of two numbers. But that macro may contain any number of coding. Here what is that subprogram means we can divide that macro into several meaningful units by setting some name. Whenever we want we can call that macro means subprogram by using its name. Okay. In other languages like C++ and Java, we'll call this as a method. There we'll call this method is a two types. One is that method with a return type, maybe integer or a string, whatever it is. One more is a method without return type. That we'll call it as a void function. Here also that void function is nothing but of we'll call it as a subprogram, and the function with return value we will call it as a function only here. So here to create the subprogram we will use that sub keyword. So for example I'll just use ABC. So it will create the subprogram sub procedure called ABC. One more I'm going to create like function. So I just name it as ABC with the keyword function. Instead of sub I'll use function. So it should end with the keyword end function. So in between sub and end sub, you can write any number of coding here. So whenever you want this coding, you can call that one by using the name ABC. Okay. Now I am going to split the code here. So I just remove these last two lines from my existing macro and I just paste it in the subprogram called ABC. So here I just pass some argument like A as integer, comma B as integer. This is called argument. So while calling this subprogram, I'm going to pass two arguments A and B as an integer. So here one local variable dim C as integer I'm declaring. So in this code it will calculate the sum of two argument value and it will display the sum as a message box. Here how to call this subprogram from the main macro means by using the name. Here what is the name of this subprogram ABC. So while calling this we have to pass two values. So that A already I assigned 75, B already I assigned 50. So this what it will do, it will call this subprogram with the value 75 and 50. Now that 50 will copy it into the first argument A, sorry 75 will copy it into the first argument A, 50 will copy it into the second argument. So it will calculate the sum of 75 and 50 and stored it in C. Then finally it will just display as a message box. So here you can see that means I am not returning any value to the calling program. Simply as soon as it read ABC, control transfer to the subprogram and it will execute all these three lines. After that, if any code is there in your main macro, it will get executed. Instead of this one, I'm going to use this one as a function. So function also same thing only. This also is going to execute some programming code. So these first two line declaring the variable C as well as calculating the sum of A and B. Here also I'm going to pass two argument A as integer, comma B as integer. So now this time see like I'm going to return this value. So return value we have to store it in that main macro. So here how to return the value in some programming languages like C++, Java and all other languages will use the keyword called return to return the value to the calling program. But in VBA we are using different technology like this one same name of the function name we have to store the result. So that means here name of the function is xyz. I'm storing the result C into xyz. So what this line will do, it will return the result C into the calling program. Here I'm just store that one into local variable C by calling the function xyz. So while calling the function, I'm passing the same argument. So this also will call the function called xyz with this value 75 and 50. Here that result will store it in C and it will return to the calling program. So that result 125 will return and store it in this variable C that I am going to print by using message box. So now what it will do, it will just print the value 125 as a message box. Okay. So now you can view the results. So now it displays the message box. So this is called a subprogram. The next class we will see that different types of argument. Now what we are using, that is called by value arguments. Next class I will explain to you by value, by reference, as well as default argument, and one more also is there, that is called varying number of argument by using parameter array. Thank you.